KHO, a celebration of river fishing. Specifically on this episode, North Shore streams where the Great Lakes Superior steelhead migration is on. There was one more river Davin wanted to check out. And at this point, we were not about to second guess our fly fishing guru guide.
Let's go ahead and just jump the fence. It might be a little bit easier for the camera.
More than our vehicles at a public parking spot just off Scenic Highway 61 told me that there was maybe a better bite on this North Shore stream just north of Gooseberry Falls. That was quickly confirmed when Davin ran into one of his steelhead friends. Of what we'd learn is somewhat of a steelhead society, not afraid to share fishing information. Rare for any angling community. Anyway.
Yeah, we've talked to the Creole sense of the DNR, and I know over the weekend they were catching them as far north as the Baptism. Yeah. And that was about it. Other than that, we went up north past there, and it was still pretty cold. It's in 33, 34.
Yeah, well, we're going up. We got a cabin at home, so yep. We're heading up there.
You probably have to get through some ice on the flute reef.
Yeah.
Along with the comparison of intel, it's also common among steelheaders to compare fly boxes. These two were no exception, although it was a little like listening to someone speak Greek. Their stream treasures were definitely eye candy.
This is actually, you know what I call this? I call this the Baptism Spay. Just for
Baptism Spay.
And hopefully not to just us, but Mr. Steelhead.
Because these things aren't really, they're not in here to feed. They're going to spawn, and a lot of these strikes are going to be out of just instinct, or just you're ticking them off or whatever. It's just in their face. And you will snag them from time to time with the hook drape, dragging over the back.
So, with the basic knowledge of I was angling for a fish that wasn't really here to feed, I snuck away from the pack to try and apply the high volume of steelheading wisdom freshly learned from an admittedly low volume of steelhead wisdom myself. But I was about to forget one very important piece of information Davin shared with me just prior to breaking our pre-fish huddle.
You got to plan that route. When you go into one of these spots and you see some good water, plan that route. That fish is going to, most likely when you hook into these steelhead, they're going to move. They're going to take off. They could get acrobatic and they're going to jump. Have your route planned. Know kind of what's downstream from you. Know if you can walk in the water, or in here we've got a lot of grass. Easier to walk on, but there's a lot of brush, and that brush is really awful on your line. Your line can get hooked up in that, and one twist of that line, you could lose that fish. And so kind of planning that out, I always try to look at the water. Here we've got a lot of gravel. It's easy to work with, but there's some deep pools here, and it's been known a couple people can take the wrong step and you can end up going for a little boat ride down without the boat.
And wouldn't you just know it,
fish boys, we got one. You just bring them back to the net. I'm not going to scoop them, you just drop them into it, okay? You work that tip a little bit. You can turn that fish if you work that tip. Turn it like this. Stay where you're at. What we're going to try to do is work that rod tip like this, Eric. Just twist it. And then I'll go back the other way, and we're going to steer them over here.
No chance I land this fish without the constant coaching from Davin Brandt. But truthfully, personally, I was losing confidence. I absolutely, positively could not turn this fish.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, it looked like a big fish.
It looks like a steelhead.
Here he comes. Here he comes. If we get him right here, we'll be good.
Stay where you're at, because you might run down.
It's a nice bowl.
He's going to see me and he's going to want to go.
Whoa! Oh boy, hole and waders.
Okay, over this way.
There you go. Nice.
Eric's first one. It's a nice fresh one.
Oh. I haven't caught one of these since I was in college.
That's a nice female.
He bit it hard too.
Yep.
Man, it's a monster. Wow.
That is what we're here for. You can see that. That's a nice one, Eric. That's a real nice one that you got.
$180 for neoprene waders, but priceless for the fish.
All right, you can see your rod here. We got this, we can measure it. Lay it down. We're going to use that rod rule right on here. And we can measure that tail. And you've got 25-inch fish. It looks like a steelhead, not a looper. It's got the adipose fin is clipped. This thing's usually about the size of your thumb. Not Herbie's thumb, my thumb. And then the maxillary is clipped, which is right here, the upper jaw here is clipped. They have fin clips. All the fins are intact. They'll
Oh, the fish is gone.
they'll clip some of those fins, and that tells you year classes. So they combine tags, adipose clips, the front left and right pectoral clips, and even these.
It had been so.
Watch out that hook. Whoop.
It had been so long.
There you go.
It had
Right
been
back
so
up.
long since I got a steelhead.
Nice.
And
Nice
I
job, Jesse.
said, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to feel them when they hit. And all of a sudden it was just, whoo, did you see that was the river dance.
I saw you coming down the creek. We had to holler for Brian to come with the camera.
Caught that on a yellow, or excuse me, an orange egg fly.
My heart's still beating.
Good.
I tell you, once you get one on, you're hooked forever.
Yep, that one or the orange with the red dot. You could try that. Just tie them straight on, just like you tie normal. Good job.
Oh,
One casualty. I got her good.
That's worth it.
That's worth it.
That's worth it. That's awesome.
Good job, professional fisher, steelhead.
That's good. That's what's supposed to happen.
Steelhead.com, baby.
Minnesota Steelheader.
MinnesotaSteelheader.com.
I'm excited for you. I mean, you know, I've caught a handful of these things over the years. It's a little bit more challenging to get someone new to the sport to get in on it, and to get them to get the right drift, to get that feel for it, and to get their fly in the water.
Man, I will never forget that. And I've caught one or two 20 years ago, but
Okay.
you know, it's 2 decades. You lose that. Now I remember everyone.
That's great. Let's do it again.
Awesome.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
Let's get another memory. Let's
All
get
right.
a bigger one.
All right.
They are bigger. You can see them. A 30-incher is a trophy.
Oh, okay.
20. That was 25, average size. There are 28ers in here, 29. 30s are hard to come by, but we could easily get one a little bigger. And that was a female. The males usually run a little bit bigger. So let's go back up to that spot and see if there's a male.
Got her.
Back in.
You got her. After you, guide.